Hey, I'm Dean and this is Legacy Voyage. In Season 1, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way.
Yo, what is good? Your boy is back. Like I said, moving forward, these will hopefully be more casual and also more frequent, is the hope. But just want to give a rundown of things that have been going on, things I've been thinking about, random stuff like that. I guess the first thing is that I want to say about 2 weeks ago, I watched this movie called Marty Supreme. And it's honestly the first time where I put so much thought into a movie, like proper analysis of the movie. And of course, I didn't do this out of my own like goodness of my own like curiosity of the movie. I just had a friend who, I don't know, some reason really obsessed with this movie. And so it got me thinking a lot about the movie. The movie itself, I wasn't like the biggest fan of, but other people loved it. It was starring Timothy Chalamet, which is like a dang, people are obsessed with that dude. But I bring all this up to say that his character was really interesting because you can kind of think of his character as like the Michael Jordan of ping pong. The Michael Jordan of ping pong if basketball didn't pay. So I guess, yeah, the Michael Jordan of ping pong. He's like basically he's like super cracked at ping pong, but the only thing is that it doesn't make any money, bro. And so the entire time or the entire movie, I'm over here like just shaking my head or like so confused because Marty in this movie, he jumps through all of these hoops and goes to these insane lengths all to win a ping pong. And in my head, it's like, it's just doesn't seem very virtuous. It doesn't seem like it's admirable in any way because he fails on his responsibility to provide for the ones who are close to him. He fails in his responsibility to provide for his mother. He in the movie he has a baby mama, and then there's also this business opportunity. I think in the entire movie, there's at least two deals that I can think of right now that he turns down. Two deals that actually would have paid good money that he turns down simply because of his ego, and he doesn't want to go after it, and he's just obsessed with being great. And so a part of me was really trying to think through this balance of what it looks like to, of course, be like obsessed with greatness, like going after greatness, but also like living in reality and understanding that you responsibility to cover. Because in context of Michael Jordan or Kanye West or anyone else who for some reason had this like irrational belief that they would make it and so they believed in it and so they just kept going. Like in all of those cases, of course, you can take like survivorship bias into account, but like trying to find that balance between truly betting all on yourself, but also not failing in your responsibilities, I think is what I'm trying to grab my mind around. Because in the movie, of course, Marty Supreme, he seems to be like this extreme of like always betting on himself, doesn't care about anyone else, using other people to achieve his goals. But in a way, that's exactly how Michael Jordan was, and that's exactly how he became to where he's at today. So maybe there's just like a couple of those cases, and I'm just Michael Jordan is like a case where it was like too Mario Supreme, and you got to find more of a balance. But yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking through. Still trying to wrestle through that. But in the topics of movies, as I was thinking about this, one movie that I watched over break that I honestly really loved is Freedom Writers, man. It's so interesting having these people who are writing their stories in real time, man. I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last podcast or not, but those stories are so cool to me. And another quick thing that I'll mention is recently I had such an interesting experience. I went to, it's called RUF, which is Reform University something, but it's basically this like university Christian ministry on campus. And so they had like a little big group meeting that they do, and it's kind of like a typical Christian worship service. And so I went to this thing, and there were a couple interesting things about it. First of all, this is the first time that I've done like went to one of these Christian worship services things. It's the first time I've gone to one of them on campus, and the first time I've gone to one of them in literally years. Because the last one I went to was when I was in high school, and so that alone was like kind of threw me for a loop. And another super interesting thing was the fact that these are the first like liberal progressive Christians that I've interacted with. because all my life I've grown up around very conservative Christian people. And so it's interesting, like hearing them talk and then the way they speak. And I'm gonna have to like talk with them more to understand like their viewpoint. But that is one interesting point. And then I guess the whole reason I went to this thing in the first place, or at least one of the reasons I went to this place, was because I'm trying to build this relationship with God. And I think I've probably explained this before, but at the point I'm at now, it's like I have all the explicit fact, all the logical, like the evidence things. I have thought a lot about that. And that's not to say that, oh, I have the answers to every question, but it's just to say, like, summer of sophomore year, I read this book, and in the book, it gave this very convincing case for Christianity, a case that I was like, man, this actually makes a ton of sense to me. Now, I won't dive into what the case was, but what I will say is that got me as far as being willing to kneel down and pray. It got me as far as being willing to go to churches, being willing to read the Bible. But what it doesn't get to is building a true relationship with God, which is definitely something that I want to work on for sure. And definitely something that I'm still trying to do. And one of the coolest parts about going to this thing was like you're in this big group. There was probably like 50 of these kids. And they're all on this journey of like trying to build that relationship with God, which I think is like, it's so helpful to do it with other people. But especially, I think it's especially interesting because I don't consider myself Mormon or LDS. And so one could argue is like, oh, you already have that if you go to like the LDS church. But because I don't see myself as LDS, I think it's easier, or at least it's a nice new community to be around that's like they're Christian. And honestly, I think if I press them on like their actual fundamental beliefs, like they would definitely be wishy-washy in terms of like, oh, I'm not sure which denomination is true. I'm not sure about like sola scriptura or Protestantism versus Catholicism versus all the other isms. But I think as of right now, I've spent so much time worrying about like those nitty-gritty facts that I'm losing myself. I'm getting lost in the sauce, bro. It's like the thing that really matters and the thing that I really care about is building this relationship. And so that's one thing that hopefully I'll be able to start doing. And who knows, maybe down the road, I'll like build this relationship with God and realize, oh my goodness, like actually LDS, like they had it right the entire time. But either way, I think priority number one is at the very minimum building that relationship, or at least starting to build that relationship with God. So that's one thing that I'm working on, which is nice. In terms of like physical health, I think it's been great. Could be better, but it's been great, honestly. It's been probably, I think, -15. It was -15 the other day. And spoiler, that sucks to run in. I think the coldest I ran in was like 0. The feels like was 0 degrees. And I could barely survive. And I can't imagine doing it in colder weather. So luckily today, I think it was like 20-ish, which is a lot more doable. So was able to get an outside run in. Honestly, I want to stop being so afraid of indoor runs, because that is my kryptonite run, bro. Especially for this marathon coming up. Like I want to lock in. So that's been nice. And along with that, it's my sleep has been super great. Diet has been phenomenal. Like, yeah, in terms of mental, physical health, bro, it's all been so phenomenal. And honestly, that might be because I'm like starting to build this relationship with God. Like, if it's not causation, there's definitely a correlation going on there of my relationship with God and how well I'm doing in like other aspects of my life. So in terms of personal, myself, like that's all doing well. With my people, starting to go on more dates now, starting to feel it out. And I think the nice thing about going on more dates is you start to have different baselines for what you want in some, or at least I'm speaking for myself, for what I want in my significant other. And so it's been a good learning experience for sure. So that's been helpful. With my work, oh, this was interesting. So the one startup I was recruiting for a while ago, the YC startup, I ended up referring one of my buddies there and got a referral fee. So that was awesome. Things went well. A couple months passed. The company's doing well, so they're hiring more people. Founder reaches out to me. He wants another referral because as of right now, I'm 1 for 1, bro. Like literally, I only referred him one person, my boy, and my boy got the job. So I was like, perfect. And then he asked for another one. I was like, okay, let's try go 2 for 2. So I referred another one of my boys, and all of us, we met in this SF program, the program where I spent the winter quarter in San Francisco. And so I referred the other guy, the second dude, and right now he is about to work trial. So he's going to do a work trial next week, and depending on how that goes, he'll get an offer probably within the week. So within 2 weeks, he'll probably get an offer. And I'm thinking about this a lot, honestly, like trying to be super honest on this thing. I think if he gets the offer, I kind of want to go and join them. And it kind of goes against the idea of like learning over everything else, because I think definitively I can confidently say that I will learn a ton at Leland. And I will definitely learn more at Leland than I would if I go join that other startup. But the big caveat is that I think it would be way more fun to go to ESSA, be living with two of my boys, building this company. Like that just seems like such a 21-year-old thing to do. So that's something I'm really thinking about, is if he does, and of course, if he doesn't get the offer, then I'll stick with Leland. We'll play it out. But if he does get the offer, then he's gonna take it, then I might really want to join them. So honestly, I'm still not 100% sure how things will turn out, but I think this is a very interesting moment to see how things might affect my future down the road. And I haven't told anyone at Leland. If they're listening, then surprise. But if he doesn't get the offer, then no harm. But if he does, then we'll get to some thinking. Either way, that's a kind of interesting point where I'm at. In terms of like Leland work itself, yeah, one thing I am thinking about is like, at least lately, I haven't been super enjoying my work, or at least I haven't been. Maybe you can call it burnout, but the way I define burnout is like I'm forgetting the reason why I'm doing this thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm learning, and that has remained true. But I think it's just like the fun aspect. Like I think that's pretty important, low key. And maybe that's why I want to go join the other startup, is because it'd just be way more fun. But yeah, working full time in school, it's a grind. I guess the other update with school is like, bro, I failed one of my quizzes the other day. If I fail any of these classes, I'm actually cooked. So I might have to lock in on and properly like study and do the readings and stuff. But yeah, that will be a grind. Either way, let's just hope I don't fail. I should probably go to office hours as well. I really don't want to fail anything. So finish strong. I think I only got 2 months left. And then I am free to go wherever the wind takes me. Whether that be SF or Utah, we shall see. But that's all. I record these episodes completely free to share success with everyone. So the only thing I ask is that if you learned anything or found something interesting in this episode, just leave a review and share it with a friend. Only takes 5 seconds and it would mean the world. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode. Tatok, see you.